Alright.
There we go.
I'm out.
Are we live on? Oh, hello everybody. Welcome back to Season 2, Week 2 of Smite League. Today we have a minor division game. Quantum versus Dino-Might. Quantum being on the blue side, Dino-Might being on the right side, or red side. Here we see some interesting bands, you know. Scylla not necessarily top ban worthy in some people's
Might have been a
opinion.
scout out.
Cupid, Baka. However, you do see the super meta Cthulhu, Freya, and Persephone bands. We do see a Chalk pickup on the blue team, as well as a Nemesis lock and a Merlin hover. We do see the Merlin lock there, so that is most likely a jungler and a mid, opposed to the Chalk that can flex into 2 or 3 roles. And we see a Jingwei and a Jormungandr. Yet again, I mean, we know where Jingwei is going, but Jorm can be a little surprising. And we do see the soul lock for Rose Empress Tora. She definitely had a good set last week on those magical ADCs, so it's not a surprise to see that. You know, it is what it is, you know? He, she, same thing. Dino's yelling at me. It's alright, guys. We do see a Thor ban. Ganesh showing very good support there. Now, honestly, seeing that Quantum is coached by Team Atrocity's coach, I wouldn't be surprised to see that shot go into the jungle. We do see the Sun Wukong ban. Very strong solo laner. We do see the Achilles hover. Ooh, and the Achilles lock, and we see the Odin hover. Looks like we're just waiting on them to pick a mid, and they do pick the Isis. Isis, you know, very good secure, high area damage with that ultimate, the healing. Very nice. And we're going to see what they pick up for support on the red team. And we see the Geb, you know, very safe pick. The shield cleanse is very, very good. So definitely a good pick there. Slim, what are you thinking about this pick and ban?
Some very interesting picks. Now, I think this is my first time seeing a Yorm, at least this season. Quite interested to see who takes this game one with these picks. I like the Geb, good CC cleanse, good assistant god. You got Achilles, a strong solo laner going up against either a Yorm or an Odin. But I think blue team has a bit more flex to see who goes where. You know, it could be Odin or it can be Yorm solo and support. They can split it up, do whatever they want. It could even be a Chuck solo and throw Odin in the jungle. I've seen it before. Just have to wait to see
what. To be, what is it? Chalk support, going by their team roster, Crunkman. So that could be a Chalk support. Very interesting there with the Yorm solo. mean, looking at this, team comps are a little bit funky on the quantum side. I mean, you just see the little bit more standard of a comp over there for Dino-Might.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome early.
Yo, what's up, coach?
It's Odin.
Okay, we're back.
Now, just going off of team comp, who do you think is going to win? Who do you think is going to have an edge?
I think if Nemesis gets that, I think if Nemesis gets ahead early, I think sorry, I think Red Team can, if they can get ahead and snowball that down, I think Red Team. But if it's even and it gets late, I think, especially if it's even, I think Blue Team has very heavy dive comp team. I think they will. I think they'll take it, especially if it's even with a team with what Red was showing. So, and here's the
Yeah, I
pick
mean, they're
again in case you missed it.
two very different team comps for what they're looking for. There we go, spectate.
Well, never mind. Yeah, we got Shock and Odin, a Jormungandr. You got strong. You got one with the shield, one that can hit you without taking any damage, and another one with a heal. So they can dive really heavy here, especially early, and do serious damage.
Definitely. I mean, there's a huge late game team fight presence on the blue team. You got the Odin cage, you have the Chalk ult, you have the big old Isis ult. Just very strong for those team fights, in my opinion.
Those actually work very well together. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a team comp master crafted by Fry. Bad coach for Team Atrocity.
It looks
New
like
coach for Quantum.
it will be the Yorm support with the Chalk going into the jungle. Making Odin their solo laner here. As for Dino-Might, looks like everything pretty standard. Soul ADC. Achilles going into solo lane. Achilles
Yeah, I mean,
starting 5 multi-pots and 3 chalices here.
that's interesting there. Can we get the Chalk? Can we just get the gods lined up on the bottom? It's killing me, Dino. There we go.
There we go. Now, I've been trying Yorm support, and I haven't been making it work. I want to be a good chance to see if he can show me a thing or two whilst casting this. How to really play a Yorm support.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's definitely a little unconventional, not necessarily the most support style, but he's taking a lot of damage there too. Definitely losing that trade.
Rolling Geb on him. Heart looks like in mid lane, Shock's going for an early gank on. Nope, never mind. He's gonna stay here in the Nemesis dashing out of the Isis stun, working to stun her.
Definitely seeing a lot of A lot of pressure in that duo lane. Soul able to put out a lot of damage compared to the Jingwei early. Gonna have that huge advantage in the lane clear.
It's forcing Quantum to have to back up to their towers here. Meanwhile, Dino-Might's looks like they're gonna take Quantum's red. Dino-Might having all the pressure early, but Quantum's showing that they're gonna fight back.
Yeah, I mean that's
As they
a
pop a
pop.
shell to save the Nemesis from Isis. Yorm taking big damage there as he's very low. He's gonna have to sit back for a second, and he's gonna have to go back to Fountain here.
Yeah, I mean there's just not a whole lot you can do against the Soul as a Jingwei. You know, she has much better lane clear, and you just kind of have to give up that lane just a little bit until you can get some lane clear online.
Meanwhile, the Odin,
very low.
Odin getting burned by the Achilles. Will he go down? He was one auto attack away, and Achilles could not manage to get it through.
He is going to. Looks like he's going to back. I mean, he does have the teleport up, so he shouldn't miss too many creeps there.
Meanwhile, Isis hits the stun. The Geb shield cleanses, and it's enough to allow Dino-Might to retreat.
One thing I did notice is that the Chalk did not pick up his 2 at level 2. He picked up his heal and slow. Definitely gonna take away a lot of his early game pressure. He just picked up his 2.
Going back to the good old farming after quite a few close first blood calls here. No member from either team has fallen yet. Although we have had quite a few close calls.
Yeah, I mean Dino-Might's definitely been doing just a little bit better of a time in these early game fights. They're getting just enough pressure now to go to steal that red on the first wave. It looks like they might get called out for it on this time. Nemesis
I think they had a Chalk's gonna blink in, forcing Nemesis to get out. And they were unfortunate. They were unsuccessful with the steal of the red buff, as Isis gets her red buff this time.
See some aggression here from the Odin. Not working out too well for him. Taking a lot of damage. Should be about in range of that Achilles ult, but it is down. Looks like he used it earlier.
Despite being
the first blood, I did not see the Geb kill the Jormungandr. Not quite sure when that happened.
I missed it as well. It looks like the Geb got a kill on the Jormungandr there. Everybody level 5 with ultimates ready. Really like that Geb shield cleansing that current CC that they have.
And we see a solo kill from the Soul onto the Jingwei. I mean, Soul does have a great early game being magical and having the lane clear.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna get just a little bit of tower poke, but Jingwei, being Jingwei, is already back to lane.
Jormungandr gets a kill on Merlin in mid lane here. Forcing Geb to back. Meanwhile, in solo, looks like getting Fragbo is losing a lot of health and mana quickly. Had to use his ult to escape. It's gonna force him to back to his tower for a second. Get those minion waves.
Yeah, I mean, that is one thing about Odin solo. He's definitely not the greatest laner. I mean, Achilles is going to have a much easier time getting off that damage successfully, being able to, stun the Odin out of his shield for the bird bomb. Really just able to take away a lot of that damage onto the wave. We do see the Isis going into the lifesteal there. Probably going to be a ban Keralis if I had to guess. Again, we see Soul doing.
And she's going to fall a second time to the Soul.
Yeah, and I mean, we haven't seen the Chalk go over there to try to relieve any pressure, so it's looking rough for that Jingwei. At this point, she's a level behind, she's falling behind items-wise, gold-wise, and Soul's just going to be able to collect just a little bit of extra farm.
My thoughts of invading, and Jormungandr came to alleviate some pressure from the Soul. Soul's gonna go into her little and got a lot of damage on that Jormungandr with her ult. However, Jormungandr's coming in, getting all 3 ticks on it, and they trade with Jormungandr helping Soul. I can't English today. Soul managed to get the kill on Jingwei for a 3rd time before she died.
Yeah, and that's going to be a huge disparity in that lane. I mean, without some good ganks over there, it's going to be really rough for Jingwei to get to that late game, to get that crit online. And I mean, crit less effective against Geb. So that is a core part of what she's trying to do, She has the crit built into the kit.
The Jingwei already having Ring of Hecate and her lifesteal boots online. Now, despite the troubles that Odin has been having, he is a level up on this Achilles.
Yeah, and it looks like they both recently used their teleport, so neither of them are going to be finishing an item anytime soon. The Achilles is going to have to go without that Stone of Gaia for a little bit. Okay, we do see very quick pause there, not quite sure what's going on.
And there's a cage in there by Odin. Can Odin do a significant amount of damage before that cage ends? And it looks like he will, as Achilles has to ult away to escape.
And that's going to be a lot of pressure on that solo lane now. I mean, Achilles is still down another 150 seconds, 2.5 minutes with that teleport, so it's going to be a little rough on him if he has to back there. However, he is healing up, he has a little bit of percentage healing from that tier 2 Stone of Gaia. Has the health chalice, has the multi-pots, he's regenerating up pretty decent.
We're gonna trying to get some hope with that Geb shield, helping Merlin not lose too much health there. Like Ned might be trying to come in, see if she can get herself some easy pickings.
Yeah. Geb, I mean, you can go for the knock on the
with the Geb ult getting the 2-man stun, Chalk ults in reply, only gets the Geb, as Yorm ults as well, going into tower, gets 2 decent hits, and comes back out to the Nem. Nemesis ults on the Jormungandr, as they dive in on that Jormungandr.
Yorm does fall. We do see the Odin jumping in, throws the
Odin
cage.
jumping, hitting the cage, getting all 4 in the cage.
And that is 2 kills. 4-1. Losing the Yorm, picking up the Geb and the Nemesis there.
However, that Jingwei does fall.
And this Soul is looking kind of unstoppable in that duo lane. She's level 12, highest level in the lobby. And she's going to be able to back and get a pretty decent item. Yeah, she's going to get tier 2.
Ooh.
Probably Demonic Grip.
And now this Achilles 2 levels down. However, that Nemesis is trying to make up the difference, being now only 1 level ahead. However, on the chalk.
Yeah, and I mean on the other side of the map, we see the Soul 2 levels up on the Jingwei. So XP is definitely a little skewed in this game. It might be pretty close, but it's just on different people.
It's about 1,000 in favor of Dino.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a relatively close game. I mean, this is kind of what Quantum wants. They're really focused on that late game team fight with that comp. They have a lot of AoE. And I mean, I think, you know, if they can get to that 30-minute mark, they're going to be able to win team fights pretty decently.
They're going to try and get that. Jormungandr having to use his
out.
ultimate. Gonna try and take 2 shots at. Nope, it's gonna take 1 and then 1 and run.
Yeah, definitely a good idea to get away from that Soul. I mean, she's just huge right now. She's able to put out so much damage. It looks like we could see a pretty decent fight here in mid. 3-on-3.
The knock up on Yorm.
Looks like they're gonna settle just for a little bit of poke on that Geb and the Merlin. We see Chuck maybe looking for a gank on this Soul, you know, trying to shut her down. However, the Jingwei isn't there with him.
It's gonna be hard doing this one-on-one 3 levels
on
down. And Soul just
Soul
holding her own. Oh, here comes Jingwei for the help.
And we see the Achilles getting the kill.
However, the Soul does. Can she get the double here? She does.
She gets the double.
Here comes Yorm though, trying to finish off what the other 2 started, and he sees it and he backs out immediately.
Yeah,
and this could be a Gold Fury call here.
That's a 6-in-1 Soul. She's super strong. She has the lifesteal, and it's going to be very hard for her to get taken down anytime soon without a lot of commitment.
As Isis is the only one on her team standing, and Merlin comes to join the fight. Isis uses her ult, and here comes Achilles from behind. Excellent rotation by that Achilles to help secure that Isis kill. Now Yorm and chalk her up, having to defend middle lane here. As Dino-Might looks like they're ready to just reset here, getting their kills.
Yeah, and I mean, with the ward coverage that they have, I mean, Dino-Might certainly is at an advantage on that left side of the map. Have a lot of those wards and sentries down. Looks like they, you know, might go for an attempt on gold pretty soon with that coverage. It's a good shock ult, doing a lot of damage to that Soul, but
it's not enough as
she's gonna heal up.
Gets collapsed on by all 3 of them, and she's gonna have to run. But is it gonna be enough? She uses her ult, and it looks like they'll stop the pursuit there. However, Odin on Gold Fury fighting that Merlin and will get the kill as they left the Merlin to try and go get the Jingwei. Here comes the Isis ult now, and they will get the health from that Isis ult plus the damage. And here comes the Yorm ult following after. A shell has been popped, I believe. A blink on the Isis will secure the kill by Achilles. Oh, they're looking like he might come back, but no. And he will.
Yorm Achilles not quite able to get the execute on the Yorm.
It's like another pause. in the middle of a good fight here on the side of Quantum.
I mean, this is a very interesting fight. I mean, it looks like it's going to go both ways multiple times. We can
Oh,
see the Soul go down.
I think the pause made Soul unable to move there.
It looks like they are thinking about that Gold Fury, but they might
They're
be
looking
changing their
around.
mind on that.
I think they're trying to ward around for it. They are going to start it, but have to back out immediately as I see Achilles. Achilles with a big stun on Jormungandr. Geb looking to try and finish it off, but no. He
There's a
cannot.
great stun from Odin, keeping that Achilles from chasing. Chalk there as well to get that slow out to zone them off just a little bit. And we see Jingwei pushing up on that left tower, getting some damage on it, but she's getting collapsed on. I don't know if she realizes.
She has no wards here on the left side. I don't think she knew what was hitting her. She has to use her ult to try and escape, but there's nowhere for her to go. As Achilles and Geb collapse on that immediately and get a free kill on that Jingwei. Meanwhile, Isis falls to a Nemesis and a Merlin combo. Nemesis, though, surrounded by three, looking to avenge their fallen brother, and they will.
There's a huge ult from Geb, stunning them into that Merlin. Jormungandr getting very low, having to ult away. Odin is going to fall. And it looks like that's going to be a
Gold Fury call. You secure the Gold Fury.
And one thing I do see here is every member on Quantum does have the Oracle Chalice, but it seems like they're having a little bit of trouble getting them put down in decent places. I mean, we see two in one spot, one on that corner in mid, one on that corner in duo, but they're not really, collecting all that data from those lane entry points in mid, so they're not really seeing where people are rotating.
As the XP spirals down towards Dino-Might's favor, I believe it was a 9k favor to Dino. As the team's going to collapse on the Geb, who did not back. Merlin's going to try and save him. Chalk has to ult. Will not get the kill. Geb's stunned so he can escape, and he will get out of there, back to the safety of his tower, as Soul defeats Isis in a battle. And it looks like Geb will get the kill on the Chalk, putting Odin in a spot. Odin has to ult, but they have a Phantom Veil to get everybody out, as Odin has to now run back to his tower.
And we do see a 1v1 with that Soul and Jingwei.
And it's not going to be a 1v1 for long, it looks like. As Jingwei, I believe, realized it and quickly got out of dodge there.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's a 1v1, that's not a 1v1 you want to take. That is a 9-2 Soul.
Right now, it's a 4v1 on that Odin, and that Odin's going to get collapsed on. Forcing the Aegis out of Jingwei there.
At this point, it's going to be very hard for Quantum to get back into this game. I mean, they really just need to take down that Soul a couple times pretty quickly. They need to just take that dedication and take 4 people over there and just make sure that she can get a little farm off that Jingwei.
They just need to get back to farming. As you can see there, everybody is 2 levels at least down on their counterpart. So it's going to have to be careful where you fight and how you fight. You just got to get to farming. Try to catch up from behind. Catch people like this Soul who's far from her tower. See if you can get a free gank. However, she does have the lifesteal, but I don't think it's going to be enough for the 4-man rotation on the Soul, and they needed that kill on the Soul badly there.
Yeah, I mean, that's just what they need to do. They need to recognize that soul's out there alone and they can go ahead and get her. I mean, she has to disapparate, but it's not a get out of jail free card.
That 4-man rotation will cost Dino-Might the Pyromancer, however.
And it looks like they are going to take that right tower as well. Pretty low health. They're going to be able to take that. No problem. And like you said earlier, I think that Quantum really just needs to farm up right now and make sure that they're avoiding these fights, getting all those wards down, and just playing very safe until they can.
Achilles blink on that shock there. They think they can burn that shock, and it looks like they will get that shock before they gets out of the cage. Jormungandr trying to get those other two off of their ADC, but I think Jingwei might be a goner as he tries to execute, but he does not get the execute. It will not matter though, as that Jingwei falls once again. Isis having to use her beads against the Merlin. However, his teammates are here to help. Good magic shell to try and keep her alive for a little bit longer, but it does not matter. However, the Nemesis will fall to the Jormungandr. As Jormungandr tries to get a little peel, but the Geb shield keeps Merlin alive as Odin jumps in, having to shield himself again to avoid taking all the damage, but he is collapsed by 3, trying to get to Merlin. Merlin, however, receives the Geb shield, so he will not die. Great knockup by Geb to keep him from moving, and they will get the kill on that Odin. Excellent team fight on Dino-Might's part.
Yeah, I mean, that was just kind of a bad play, in my opinion, from Quantum, looking to fight into that. I mean, they're very far behind. Right now, they're sitting at right around 10k gold, and I would assume more XP than that. So I think that they really just need to calm down, make sure they don't take any fights, and just farm until they're able to win these fights. And we do see a Phoenix push on that left side. They do have 3 members over there. However, they're going to back off pretty easily.
Looks like Quantum might be trying to engage in another team fight. As they do get the Geb on the shield, but the Geb gonna use his ult to try and keep them from moving, as he is, I believe he might get out as he avoids hitting one of them, but he gets knocked up. As they choose their target on somebody else, Loading is left to finish the kill. However, the Merlin does get a kill on the Chalk, and it looks like they're going for more with that Jormungandr as they Soul gets the kill on the Jormungandr. And now they're left in a 4v2 situation here, as Isis will fall, and Odin trying to leap away back to the safety. Hopefully it's Phoenix if he can get there, but I don't think it'll matter as all of Dino-Might is there just collapsing on the Odin. I think on Quantum's part, I don't think they should have taken that fight there.
Yeah, that definitely was not a great call to fight there. They just need to recognize that they're behind and they need to calm down and just focus.
And that costly mistake will give up game 1, as game 1 will go to Dino-Might. Now with Dino-Might winning that game, wonder what the thoughts are going on in Quantum's minds. In my opinion, I think Quantum were way too aggressive from even if they were behind. I think if they were ahead, it might have been different, but they were behind, and they were behind very far. As you can see, only the Merlin and the Geb were not level 20, and the rest of their team was at level 17 maximum for Quantum. So they were very far behind here.
Yeah, I mean, they just kind of kept going in and just kind of throwing themselves at the enemies, and they just didn't have the damage to take them out, and that's just a real problem. You have to recognize when you're so far behind that you can't take fights, and you just kind of have to give up pressure. I mean, I like the draft, but they just didn't play their gods in game very well, in my opinion. I mean, I know they are new. They haven't gotten a lot of practice together, so it could just be an issue with their synergy.
It very well could. However, they may be down, but they are definitely not out. They can come back with the winning the next two. And that's the good part about these sets here.
For sure, for sure. I mean, it's a best of 3. You lose that first game and you come back, you win that second game, and you have a good chance of winning that third game with that momentum. So definitely down but not out.
We see that sold almost 25k player damage compared to the Jingwei who didn't break 9k as the Odin was as the Odin and the Jormungandr were the two out there really dealing the damage. And I'd be a little concerned on Quantum's team if my support is doing more damage than my ADC. That might just be me, but I
Yeah, I
would
mean,
definitely be concerned.
definitely concerning, but I mean, she was just kind of getting farmed in that lane. She never had a chance to apply that damage. I mean, 8 deaths, just those death timers alone is huge. I mean, we do see a good amount of wards from Quantum, but it seemed like they just might not have been able to get them in the
They weren't in the
positions
right
that they need
places.
to.
They weren't in the right places at the right times. As we are into game two with the picks and bans, left side being blue side being Quantum and right side being Dino, I believe.
Yep, yep. And what do you think they really need to do in this draft to stand a better chance in the second game?
Well, I was gonna say ban Soul, and they did that immediately as a respect ban. But I think as a game two, they need to just calm down. They were way too aggressive in game one, and I think their coach just needs to come in, tell them calm down a little bit. Know that you're behind. You need to just sit back and farm. Don't try and engage in any fights when you're that far behind. Once you hit level 20 and everybody's at full build, full level, go for it, because then anything can happen. But when you're 2 and 3 levels down, you're asking yourself to lose.
Yeah. I mean, just kind of running it down when you're that far behind is rough. And we do see the 2 magical AGCs that we've seen Roast Empress Tora play, and the Nemesis, another respect ban there. She played a pretty decent game.
You see from the bans from Dino, Persephone, and Bakasura, some meta bans here. See who their third ban is.
We do see the Cthulhu ban.
The Cthulhu.
Definitely. Wise choice. Definitely always very strong solo and support.
You see the Nike, another dive heavy type player going to the side of Quantum.
Yeah, I mean, Nike, definitely a great pick. Super flexible. Support, solo, jungle. Very strong in all 3 roles.
They're gonna go back with that back with that Merlin. However, the Yamoja is gonna be the support this time.
And we see a Chernobog hover. Chernobog, has the global ultimate, able to, make his way around the map, get those assists, We see a Robin lock as well. Robin, very strong assassin, good scaling, amazing from ahead, decent from behind.
Rose Empress goes with the Izanami as an ADC here. No magical ADC this time. Gonna stick with the Izanami. However, it's a very strong. Oh no, it's gonna be the Cupid. I know Skipper's somewhere watching this, happy as all hell, seeing the
I'm sure
Cupid
he
pick.
is. I'm expecting a ping in the chat from him saying, "Oh my God, it's Cupid" in a league match.
As Dino, go ahead and ban the Sobek, a good support, strong, especially late game. Meanwhile, Quantum bans the Arachne. Dino-Might with their last ban, they will ban a really hoping that timed well. Now I'm sitting here looking like a fool.
It happens. Definitely can't predict them too well, and we see the Discordia ban.
Discordia. Quantum final bans the Achilles out of respect again. So they have 3 respect bans here in game 2. Okay with any Cupid skin as long as it's not the devil Cupid skin. Then I know Siggy won't shut up. Or not Siggy, I know Skipper won't shut up.
Ooh,
You are
Dino
correct.
with the
He's correct.
unpopular opinion.
He's correct. As Dino-Might picks up the Thor in their jungle, and Quantum picks up the Guan Yu and the Scylla, which leaves you guessing between the Guan Yu, the Nike, and the Ravana of where they're gonna go between solo, support, and carry, or solo, support, and jungle.
Oh, that's honestly a hard call.
And Dino-Might will finish their pick with the Hades.
And it looks like it's going to be Nike support.
Nike support with the Raven in the jungle, I believe, according to their roster.
Not 100% sure. I wanted to say I thought that Get Fragged was the jungler.
I have seen him working. So it might actually be a Guan Yu jungle.
I mean, I certainly know somebody that plays it. It's me.
Right, but when you said it was you, I thought it was somebody who was good with it. So
I'm
my
waiting to
bad.
see your team go against my Guan jungle.
No, we're good.
You're not gonna let it through, are you? You're scared.
Huh? Sue, not us.
What are we fighting you next week?
Who are you?
Atrocity.
Oh fuck. Yeah, you do play us next week, don't you?
Nice. Always got to have a little banter with my boy Kid Slim here. Always practicing with my coach,
Okay.
stealing his attention.
It's okay, man. Hey, listen. If anything, it just proves I'm a better player.
Bro, I don't know about all that.
I got other coaches looking at me, man. I'm the better player.
I don't know. I haven't heard any sponsorship offers. At least not yet.
Hey, no big deal, bro. Sign me up.
This man's looking to get signed.
I'm already signed, though. I'm willing to double sign, though.
He's looking for any games he can get.
Any and all. It's the only way to get better. Besides practicing for like 6 hours a day, which I need to stop fucking doing. I saw that.
Looks like we are just, waiting for Smite. Spectate is pretty weird.
My bad.
No comment.
Cancel that.
Ooh. Yeah, Dino giving us some secret pep talks here. Making sure nobody else can read them. Making us sound crazy.
Oh,
Click
I
the
mean, I was
thing,
crazy
click
to begin
spectate
with,
so we
so.
can get into this game. There we go.
Jesus, Dino, about time. Your thoughts on who you think will win this game? Because I Quantum once again went for a somewhat dive-heavy team with the Guan Yu and the Nike and even the Ravener here.
I mean, it's hard to say. They played the dive heavy team last game as well, and they weren't really able to pull it off too well. Not sure if they're super comfortable with the play style yet, so it could just be kind of hard for them to pull it off.
Guan Yu going solo. It's gonna be a Nike support.
Yep, Nike support, good old staple of Coach Fry's repertoire.
You might have to watch out for next week. Spoilers.
Not scared of nothing.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't afraid of nothing.
All right.
Looks like we do see Hades rushing boots. It is possible we do just see him sit in fountain and teleport to lane. No, however, he does go for beads. Interesting choice for that solo lane.
Interesting. But that will put him behind a little bit, I believe, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, he's bound to miss some minions if he doesn't teleport into that lane. It does look like he is going to wait for full boots and fountain. He does opt for those steel boots.
The Thor's not getting blink here, which is.
I mean, Thor does have a lot of engage tools, so you don't need blink on him per se. You have the ult, you have the hammer. It just makes it, a little bit trickier to engage without burning abilities.
Looks like Quantum's getting pressure, trying to get some pressure early in the duo lane here.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have pretty good wave clear. It's Nike and Chernobog.
Cupid's already down to about 2/5 of his health, trying to getting back up to half here.
We do see the Cherno. Go ahead and get that level 2 off the second wave. Opting to let Nike get level 2 on that first wave by soloing the Ghost minion. We see great poke.
Good root as that forces the beads by Thor.
Yeah, and that's going to give him enough pressure to go for this red invade. However, Thor looks like he's going to try to take it. However, does not time it quite well enough. Raven takes huge poke. And he's going to chase him, but I mean, Thor could turn and burn at this point. That hammer does so much damage if you're able to hit both.
Doesn't look
the
like
front and
unless
the
you have,
back.
as Nike got pretty low in that fight, forcing her to back, at least back off in that duo lane. Going aggressive can only work for so long.
Yeah, especially into that lane of Cupid and Umoja. They both have those heals, so it's going to be very hard to get any real lasting damage there. We do see the Nike die quickly.
Umoja able to get Cupid out of dodge.
Robin is here to gank, but unfortunately he's going to get tagged by the minion wave and he's not able to blink at the Cupid. And Cherno gonna take a little bit of damage, but get away relatively unscathed.
I've seen the Cupid get the first blood here. Is that a sign of the same thing as last game? Or can
I mean, it's
Quantum
definitely not a good sign for sure. I mean, Rose is certainly a good ADC. Can't deny that.
it might be. We just watched Hades get the totem of coup there, so forcing the Scylla beads there, but Merlin's blinking on her immediately. Getting good poke in there, forcing her to back here. And believe it or not, despite not getting teleport, despite sitting in Fountain to finish his boots and sitting in and not getting teleport glyph, that Hades is a level up on the Guan Yu. As Ravana has to ult away to make sure he does not fall to Dino-Might. Now Nike's here to clean up where Thor's left off, and can they get the kill as she leaps in? Ravana had to blink, but they do get the kill on the Thor.
Yeah, and I mean, Hades, super strong early game, and we do see it there. He is able to solo kill the Guan. He gets very low himself, but able to do that. And I think that just comes with a lot of his lane pressure. He's able to pretty much insta-clear wave at level 1, and he's going to continue that into the game. And one thing to note, I mean, they do have 3 healers. They have the Hades, they have the Emoji, and they have the Cupid, so we really need to see some early anti-heal on Quantum.
He's gonna get a little poke on mid tower there. He's gonna go back to their routine of farming here. Farming while trying to poke with what they have. See a small XP difference, and by small I mean very small XP difference on the sides of Dino-Might, which it looks like it just switched to Quantum. So it's quite even in XP. Gold. Quantum is down 1,000. However, with what we're seeing, that difference can be reduced.
I mean, we see Guan, getting a little bit of poke on the Hades, but in a second we're going to see that Hades get right back up to full, using that lifesteal on the
Quantum looking to try and steal the red, as they successfully do. Thor going up in the air to try and keep Scylla from escaping, as she almost escapes, but Cupid and his ultimate managing to drop the Scylla. And this Nike's being forced to retreat out. And so is the Kernobog.
Looks like we are going to see a gank over on the Hades. However, this Nike is in a very
That
rough
Nike
spot
decided
here.
to stay and not leave, but she does have her leap up and manages to escape. It's like the gank was to no avail over there in solo lane as Hades still full health thanks to his lifesteal. As Ravana's gonna ult, forces Merlin's Aegis, sorry. But the Thor managing to body block for him and keep him alive.
Again, that huge Yamoja ult, keeping that Raven away.
On you pushing Hades back to his tower, but he is a little low compared to Hades, knowing that Hades has lifesteal. He does have healing in his kit, but
yeah, Guan healing is certainly not as good as Hades healing. That is certain. However, Guan is getting to the point where he can clear that wave relatively fast and be able to kind of box that Hades before the waves collide.
do that Nike getting poked back as Scylla just now finishes her Mage's Blessing stackings. Like Thor's gonna see if he can alleviate some pressure from solo lane, and if that's all that was for, he was successful in doing so. Meanwhile, middle, they're going for that red buff every time its cooldown is up. As Quantum was successful in stealing it, and they might even get a kill out of here. And they will, the Ravana will get the kill on it.
That could be a kill on the Merlin as well.
As Cupid manages to save it, Cupid will ult on the Ravana as well, trying to keep him from leaving. And it was a good job, but Ravana turns on the Merlin, managing to get the kill before Cupid manages to finish him off.
That's a pretty good exchange for Quantum,
as it does get them a tier 1 with Cupid not being in lane. However, Cupid's looking for the gank. Dash into the wall to see if he can escape. Cupid can hit this stun, which I think that might stun him, and it will, so Cupid can finish that kill.
Yeah, and I mean, that's Cupid. He's got that fully stacked Transcendence, and he's doing a ton of damage. However, we do see Guan getting a solo kill on the Hades, picking up that Talisman of Energy. Definitely an interesting choice there. I think most players would opt for that Pestilence in that spot if they're getting a dedicated magical defense item into that comp. I mean, you know, we see a relatively even game here, but look at this Cupid. I mean, again, 5-0. That's
5-1
pretty
now.
huge. 5-1.
As Chernobog ulted in, followed by a Ravana blink to collapse on it and end Cupid's killing streak that he had. As we do see them better off in the levels, as 3 of them actually are a level ahead on Dino-Might, despite Dino being up in kills.
Yeah, I mean, kills certainly on everything, you know, if you can farm efficiently, it doesn't really matter what the kills look like. And we see this Cherno pushed up very far. It looks like he is getting collapsed on by the Thor and the Yamoja. However, we do see the Nike here, looking to peel them off.
And Nike might get a kill on the Yamoja if they choose to run. Good beats by Chernobog to save the stun. However, the Cupid is here. It is now a 3-on-2 on Dino-Might's favor, as they will get the Nike.
And we see low health bars there, but Cherno is not quite able.
Not enough. As they will get the 2-on-0. Merlin almost falling, but his blink and his Aegis managing to, and by blink I mean ability, not not relic.
And again, I mean, we're just seeing Rose just dominate this duo lane, 7-1, and able to really fight the Cherno extremely well, even being the same level. And I really think that the key right now to staying in this game is dedicating those resources to take out Rose and get some of that gold and XP out of that duo
Robin
lane.
goes into their backlines, and Thor going into their backlines, forcing Scylla to ult for the CC immunity and her ability to run. However, Cupid does get a
Double kill.
Double kill on the Nike and the Colonel Bog. And it looks like Hades jumping and getting them some kill, ulting so that Ravana can't leave. And that'll allow the rest of Dino-Might to get another kill. And
that is a
deicide kill. Great.
And let's see what they decide to do with this deicide. Looks like they're just going to try to strip the jungle, not making those objective calls that you kind of want to make here. It's 13 minutes in, you have the damage to burn down that Gold Fury, burn down that Pyromancer.
Looks like they're going to settle for the mid tier 1 and the tier 2 in left. And they are going to go for the Gold Fury, but Chernobog did ult in, which stopped them dead. And Nike's going to ult in. If we could see the fight here.
No. Got to watch the Totem of Ku instead. And we do see a collapse on this Cupid. Cupid getting pretty low.
Cupid
should be able to escape here.
But Hades coming in. Merlin getting the Scylla kill, but Nike finally catching up to Cupid and getting that kill with her ultimate.
And this could be a good fight for Quantum. I mean, we see
ulting, just missed his ultimate.
4v5.
That's going to force Dino-Might to back up and not get that Gold Fury like it looks like they were planning to before Chernobog ulted in. And it looks like Quantum's gonna get the gold while Dino's back resetting.
Yeah, that's a great call. You pushed the entire enemy team out. You got the one pick that you were looking for, and you're gonna take that objective and catch up just a little bit in that gold. Still about 3,000 down, but it's rough. But you got to take what you can get.
Dino-Might is a bit behind in terms of XP, but not as much as they were in game 1. See the solo lanes even. Jungle is down by maybe a half a level. I'm going to assume there. And the carries only one level splitting them. As Dino-Might does get Pyro, forcing and Scylla damaging Scylla as well, making her back.
Yeah, right now, I mean, Dino is just playing a great game here. They're, pushing their lead just slightly. A little bit at a time, taking a kill at a time. One here, one there. Looking for those objectives. And again, I mean, I just think that Quantum needs to get those wards down, keep them down, and just farm up while they can. They need to get to this late game, because right now they're not really able to take these fights too well.
One of them back. Chernobog coming in. Looks like is he gonna meet the? Yes, he will. He dropped down. Cupid had to avoid Cupid for a little bit there. As
Reduce the
Guan Yu
Quan.
looks like he might be ganking here.
I mean, it's 2 level 14s versus an 18. That's not the greatest of fights. That
Cupid
Cupid
does
is
have that
huge.
ward, so it looks like he's going to snuff it out as Merlin gonna get some big damage on that Chernobog. Maybe even get a kill here. Might not be him, but the rest of his team is here, and they will definitely finish off that Chernobog if they get the chance.
No, he's gonna get away.
No, he's gonna get away. As Cupid, however, does get bless me, sorry. As Cupid does get the Ravana while Nike falls, and Cupid's gonna get the triple kill.
Chasing into the base.
Shooting for the
Looking
quad.
for the Scylla.
Scylla managed to hit her with her root. As minions are pressed to this tier 2, Cupid hiding from Scylla. Can he get the unofficial quadra, I believe, if he does get this kill? No, but Hades definitely will. As it looks like they will get the left Phoenix here.
Yeah, they're juggling that tower aggro. They don't have Fire Giant, so it's going to be a little hard to take down with minions. However, they are going to be able to get there.
And they're going to need to get out of there before Nike and Ravana catch up.
Looks like they should be pretty good, you know, taking advantage of that healing with the Emoji and the Cupid.
Meanwhile, Merlin's pushing up that middle tier 2 there. Looks like the whole group is here for the tier 2, as that tier 2 will fall. And are we looking at another fight here? No. Quantum's gonna back off here and defend their Phoenix. So smart call considering the level lead was turning against them there.
Yeah, I mean, right now they can't afford to fight. They're sitting at almost a 9,000 gold deficit, a level deficit in
English
every
is
single
hard.
role.
Go ahead. I understand.
It is.
10, almost 10k XP down, and almost 8k down on gold. It's looking to be the same story as game 1, unless Quantum can change it around with some very efficient farting and maybe a good pick or two. As they will, looks like they will get the tier 1 tower in mid. And Nike trying to advance on that Thor, but could not find the damage to.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing very far up for a team that is behind, you know, it's 5-on-5. You don't have the greatest of ward coverage on that side of the map, and they just really need to be careful there. We do see a one-on-one fight with the Chernobog and the Cupid over in that left lane, if we could see it. We do see the Merlin rotating over, and Chernobog unfortunately walks right into the Merlin. We do see Scylla here getting caught out as well by this Gold Fury.
Or in the air, Tholt slams, try to get the Scylla, but Scylla's already dead by that Merlin. And it looks like another engagement by Dino-Might, but they are 2 men down. They might need to leave while they still can. And that Guan Yu is going to fall by the Merlin. Quantum needs to get out of there. They tried to stay and to secure that red, but they should have just left that to go, as they're going to try and collapse on this Ravana as he tries to lead them on a goose chase. Well, actually, no. They're going to go for the Nike. And Nike, I believe, is going to escape with her life. However, not the Ravana. As it's now a 5-on-1. 5-on-3 now. 2 of them just respawned.
Yeah, and I mean, it looks like it's going to be roughly the same thing as game 1, you know, they're just going to continue to take these bad fights, and it's just going to be very rough for them.
That was a good ult on Scylla's part to finish off the Merlin. However, Scylla does fall. And it looks like that Thor is low, but he's able to get out of there real quick. It looks like that's all she wrote for that fight.
Yeah, and we do see, you know, those minions pushing on that left side. Raven's going to have to go defend that, and I mean, they're again just taking these bad fights. They're looking at these engagements without knowing where the whole enemy team is, and it's not working well for them.
And I will get Pyromancer here, as they now have Oni waves just as well with Cupid soloing the Oni Fury. Looks like they're gonna try maybe push up this right lane.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good call to get some more pressure on that right lane, you know, that still has 2 towers standing. However, I mean, there's the Fire Giant there as well. So it's definitely a tough call here for Quantum, whether or not they can even attempt to defend that Fire Giant. Looks like they do know that it is happening, but there's a lot of people there, you know?
Ron's gonna try and see if he can get to there before the enemy team. Scylla does have her ult to try and steal it, as it was too late, and Dino-Might will get the Fire Giant and the kill on Guan Yu. Meanwhile, Scylla getting blinked on by the Merlin. All of a sudden, Merlin was up in her face, and she could do nothing about it. And now they're gonna push up the tier 2 on right.
And I mean, right now it's 3-on-5. They have a huge lead. They have the Fire Giant, and this should be the end of the game here.
Merlin trying to help that Nike. Nike will ult to get that shield. The rest of her team is here. However, Thor
We
is
do
in
see
the
Thor
air.
in the air.
Is he gonna dunk on someone?
No.
No. However, Merlin is caught in a bad situation. He does blink to try and get out. Raven ult, but he has aegis it. There's a blink on the back, trying to get to the back lines. Merlin and Cupid do find themselves 2 kills there.
Again, Cupid takes down another kill, and it's going to be 2-on-5 for this base defense. And again, Dino-Might has a ton of healing. They have the Yamoja, they have the Cupid, they have the Hades able to sustain himself, and it's going to be very hard to stop this push. And it does look like they are going to clean up all 3 Phoenixes while they have that Fire Giant buff. Merlin able to take out the Scylla before she does get the ult off.
And it's a 4-on-1 over there, and Guan Yu might have to just give up that Phoenix, man.
Do you see
Their
3
team
people
is
back
here.
up?
Their team is here. Trying to get a good defend, but the Hades ult and the Yamoja ult will end game 2, as Dino-Might will take it 2-0 over Quantum. What are your thoughts on that game?
I mean, it was just very rough for Quantum. I mean, Rose just kind of took off in that duo lane and had a pretty easy time coasting into that late game with those huge team fights. I mean, we did see the dive comp from Quantum, but they never had enough of a lead to really push it.
They did.
So
They did a bit better last with this game in terms of not getting too far behind. But I think once it got once again 2 to 3 levels down, they just kept going, and it got to a point where they were dying. And it was it would be a 2v4, 2v5. They would die, and then the people that just respawned would go right back in, making it another 2v4 and 5. So
yeah, for sure. They were having the problem of just funneling in one at a time. You know, you go into 4 people and one person dies, and then you just send another person in, and you're not going to be able to win those fights ever. They're just constantly going to be able to get their CC and damage off on you before you're able to do enough damage to take someone out, and I think that was a very big problem that game. Oh, and it looks like we are not going to be able to get an interview tonight, so this has been Ruler Men, joined by Kid Slim, casting for the Reef Smite League.
good night, everybody.